I've always been fascinated by what it takes to start a new tech company. So today I want to dive in with two founders of an AI tech company to find out what it's really like starting a company like this. My name is Eric Kimberly. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent and tech agnostic consulting firm that helps clients throughout the world with their digital transformation and enterprise tech initiatives. And joining me to have this conversation about what it takes to start a new tech company is Will and Xenon from Octure. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
So what's fascinating about what you guys are doing is that you started an AI company, an AI tech company, and AI is all the rage right now. Tech has been all the rage for years now. What's first of all, tell us about Octure and what you guys do as a company.
Yeah. So what we do is we help system integrators implement complex and requirement-heavy software. So you think your big ERP systems, CPM, CRM systems. We really help expedite that process of those implementations for system integrators for their end customers, right? More specifically, what we're doing is we're bringing AI into the mix to really help with that initial discovery and design phase around requirement gathering, documentation, artifact creation, right before configuration, but ultimately helping streamline the end-to-end implementation process to really increase that or decrease that time to value for the end customer.
Okay. Now, how did you guys meet? How do you know each other before Octure?
Yeah, so Will and I and our two other co-founders, we all met in college. So we went to Johns Hopkins together. We all studied computer science. So that's where we met. And we're all very good friends. And we all have our own sort of stories, but we've all really been into building software. We've had our, previous startups in some capacities in the past. And then we all came together to build Octure.
Cool. So you came together to build Octure shortly after college. How did this happen? How did the idea percolate in your heads and turn into reality?
Yeah. I mean, I think like building for system integrators, like having that idea in college as a college student, like when I work with our customers, like it's always the natural question, like where did you get this idea from, right? Like what experience did you draw from? And it was pretty serendipitous. So, while I was studying computer science at Hopkins, I also worked in software private equity. And so I was just actually having a conversation with a mid-market private equity firm. And what happened was their only asset class that they invested in were system integrators, those that implemented particular softwares in various ecosystems. So they would invest in a Snowflake system integrator, a ServiceNow, a Salesforce. And that really got me thinking. I was like, wow, this is a big enough market for this private equity firm to only invest in this one asset class. But not only that, at the same time, I have a buddy of mine, I'm originally from Ohio, who's a software engineer at Deloitte. And around that same time, he had recently gotten staffed on a 3-year-long ERP implementation for the state of Illinois. And oh my goodness, right? Every time I called him, there was always something, right? And he, not like, these big GSIs, they're great at doing these implementations, but there are definitely inefficiencies in their processes. And so every time I had the conversation, there's always something. And so it really got me thinking, okay, this is a really big market, and there's definitely inefficiencies. And right around this time was also when these foundation models have gotten really, really good. And so we were like, okay, what can we do here to really build something purpose-built for this particular industry? And we came together.
Right. That's very cool. And it's an industry that's definitely ripe for disruption. And you recognize that. And now you're using technology to disrupt this industry, which honestly has been long overdue. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, I think that's definitely the feedback we've gotten. I got off a call maybe 3 days ago. And after we did the demo and kind of talk logistics, the person was like, thank you for saving system integrators. And I was like, okay, well,
right.
Yeah, here we go.
You're fixing an entire industry and all their customers too.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really helping the customers ultimately realize the value of these large enterprise softwares much faster, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that they have actually a pleasant experience with these transformations. Like you more than anyone know that a lot of these times these transformations fail, like they don't even work. And so, actually I learned a lot of that from your videos. So
yeah. So, one of the things that I find fascinating is I think a lot of times people have a really glamorous view of a startup. I think, all right, you get all this private equity or venture capital money and you're just rolling in the cash and you're up at the top in your ivory tower building a company. But I saw you post on LinkedIn recently what an average work week looks like, and it's not quite as glamorous as it sounds. It's cool, and it's super exciting to watch your journey, but what's it really like in the average week or work day for you guys?
Yeah, I would say the rough schedule is we wake up, eat breakfast, work, eat lunch, work, eat dinner, sleep, and rinse and repeat. So, and like the way we keep it sustainable is that we're all super passionate about what we're building, and since we have customers, we're very passionate about solving these problems that our customers have and supporting them better than anyone else, any other vendor. We want to be the best vendor our customers have as well, and I think just this market as a whole and all of the insights we've gained from customers, leaders like yourself that we've spoken to, just motivate us to keep going. And we're just doing the work of our lives. That's how we feel. So that's what keeps us going every single day.
Yeah, and I think even more anecdotally, it's staying very close to the customer, right? So we have like an internal culture of, okay, we get pinged by our customer, we want to get back within like 15 minutes, right? And there was an anecdote where we have a customer that's overseas, and so there was one time we were driving up for a conference the next day that we were sponsoring, and this customer, had some points of feedback that they wanted, additional features on or things that they wanted to talk through. And so on the way up to that conference, it was about a 2-hour drive. It was like 1 a.m. Because it was overseas, and we stopped at a Denny's. And we sat down with our computers. The engineering team was building out a new feature, and I was on the phone talking to the customer at like 1:30 till like 2:30 at Denny's, while we ate a burger, and then we drove back up to the conference. And so it's things like that where it's like you're not finding that in corporate life. Like it's very much stay super scrappy, very agile, very fast, and being customer obsessed, I think is the biggest thing that we've learned.
Right. And you also, I've seen you post on LinkedIn some of your adventures on the road where you guys are, I think I don't know if it's easy or not, or one of you were in a bathroom in a hotel taking a conference call while someone else is in a conference call in another room. And you guys are just total bootstrapping, getting stuff done, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've had multiple instances where Will and I were at a conference. Will's taking a call from the, living room of the hotel, and then I'm in the bathroom using the sink as a makeshift conference room, and then, we switch in between us. And that's just the things we have to do sometimes to make sure we're there to support our customers, whether it's a customer call or a call with a prospect who's looking to really embrace AI in their own organization.
So what's been the hardest part of starting this company and growing and scaling it like you are now?
Yeah, I think the hardest part is, I would say there's two pretty hard things that we're experiencing, especially as we scale with the demand that we're seeing. The number one is hiring, right? It's before we started the company, every entrepreneur, every founder that I've talked to, when I ask them what's the hardest part about starting a company, they always diverted it to hiring, like building the team, and I couldn't agree more now. Right? Like, especially at the early stages of a company where everything is so critical, being super customer obsessed is the number one thing. Like, finding someone that has those same values, the same drive of creating a category defining company, that's like honestly pretty hard to find. And what we've seen is like, it's not just about what's on paper, right? Someone can have a great resume, a good hard skill set, but like the belief in creating a company that's, generational that's something that you have to find. And so, hiring, that's definitely been harder. And then the second thing is actually saying no sometimes, to customers, to prospects, and really make sure you're prioritizing the true ROI and the true value that you're trying to deliver to the customers. Because you start delivering ROI, then customers will be like, oh, I actually want this tangential thing, or I want this other feature, or I want this thing. And yes, like we can continue doing that, but then that would spread us too thin and not allow us to deliver what we're truly delivering in terms of ROI for them. And that's really helping streamline their end-to-end implementation process, right? And as you continue to build more product and expand the team, then maybe you can start exploring those different things. But really staying laser focused sometimes entails, say no, right? And that's something that we've had to learn.
Yeah. What about your venture capital interest?
Yeah.
You've got venture capital money that you've raised,
Yeah.
and they're starting to show interest in investing in the company.
Yeah.
How has that changed your strategy and trajectory overall?
Yeah, I think with funding, we're very lucky in the sense that our investors are very easy to work with. They're not necessarily forcing us to do anything or holding anything over our heads like the typical stories that you hear. And we feel very grateful that our investors, they really just feel like partners. Like the other day, our partner came into our makeshift office in New York when we first moved there, and we had an entire session working through our go-to-market strategy, where things were at the product level, different strategic customers we wanted to acquire. And and I think if anything, getting this funding has just invigorated us in order to just keep moving forward, because for us, raising VC money isn't necessarily a milestone in the traditional sense. It's more so, okay, this is the fuel that we have to get to a continuous set of goals.
Right. Maybe take you a little further than you would have gone otherwise.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, what are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you want to see the company go? Where do you think it'll go?
Yeah. I think for us, what we're really trying to do is redefine professional services and implementation delivery of enterprise software, right? We envision a paradigm shift of how software will get delivered for end customers, right? We're seeing, and we want to prioritize, and this is what you preach as well, is the end customer, right? They're the ones that are buying these softwares, looking to transform their enterprises. And so really shifting, that pull to them, and allowing these system integrators, allowing these professional services teams to deliver for the end customer better, faster, more aligned and streamlined. And so really capturing that end-to-end implementation process is where we're trending, right? Right now we're starting is around the discovery and design and then pre-sales to post-sales, but going deeper and deeper into the rest of the delivery process is, kind of where we see the company go.
Yeah, that's great. And it's almost like the whole center of gravity, the entire focus is shifting from technology and the system integrators doing system integration work for system integration's sake. Now it's shifting over to the companies themselves, the end companies that are trying to improve their businesses.
Exactly.
Well, good. Well, thanks for being here, guys. This is really
Thank you for having us. Denver is amazing.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. And it's always interesting to hear how a tech startup came to be and how it got started, the good, the bad, the ugly. So thanks for sharing that. Love to hear your comments and feedback about what you think about AI, and is it disrupting the technology and consulting space, and how do you see the future of AI? Love to hear your comments below. So thanks for joining. Hope you have a great day. And joining me
again, that was weird.
Yes, again.
Sorry.
College, or let me just cut that in.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops, that leaf out of my face there.
Oh, sorry.